The wind sliced across the rooftop like it knew exactly what I was about to say. Chicago's skyline glittered below us. A million indifferent lights smearing through the rain that had just started hammering the concrete. I stood there with my back against the low brick wall. Heart slamming so hard I could taste metal in my mouth. "We can just be friends," I told Lana.
We can just be friends.
The words scraping out like gravel. My voice cracked on the last syllable.
I just needed you to know that I didn't mean
She
for it
didn't
to
step
end this
back.
way, Lana.
She didn't laugh it off. Instead, her dark eyes locked on mine, rain dripping from her lashes. And the whole world narrowed to the 3 feet of wet rooftop between us. 3 months earlier I'd sworn I was done with feelings that complicated things. I was 28. Fresh off a brutal breakup with my ex in Indianapolis. And I'd moved to Chicago for a graphic design gig that paid enough to let me pretend I had my life together. No more trusting people. No more messy emotions. Just work. And the occasional run along the lake to clear my head. That was the plan.
I still can't believe we got this place.
Until the housewarming
It's
party in
beautiful,
Wicker
Margot.
Park.
Cheers to
The apartment smelled like cheap pizza and weed. Bass thumping from someone's Bluetooth speaker. I was nursing a warm beer in the corner when this woman with messy auburn hair and a faded band tee bumped into me reaching for the same bottle opener. Sorry,
Lana.
she said,
You look like
flashing
you're
a
hiding
quick
from the
smile
crowd,
that hit
too.
like sunlight on water. Lana,
Sorry,
you look like you're
Lana.
hiding from the crowd too.
You look like you're hiding from
I
the
laughed
crowd,
despite
too.
myself. Margot,
Crowd in there. I needed some air.
new in town,
Seriously. But look at this
still
view.
figuring out how not to look
It was
lost.
worth the squeeze.
You know,
We
this
ended up
stuff
on the
barely
fire
even
escape.
works anymore.
I know, right? It's
Passing
more
a
the
joint
ritual
neither
at
of
this
us really
point.
wanted.
Totally.
Talking about
Remember when we
nothing and
first
everything.
started?
I
The
swear
city
that was
noise
the
hummed
funniest thing
below
I've
us,
seen all week.
sirens.
You should have seen your face when
Laughter.
you said that. I know, right? It was ridiculous.
Her laugh was low and easy. The kind that made you want to lean in closer just to hear it again.
The new
When she
position
asked
at
what
the
brought me
firm
to
is
Chicago,
incredible. It just felt like the
I gave her the
perfect time
polished
for a fresh
version,
start,
new
you know?
job,
I understand completely.
fresh start. I didn't mention the nights I still woke up tasting betrayal from my ex's last text. That was the first micro-tension. Just a shared silence where our shoulders brushed and neither of us moved away. I
am
told
so
myself it
glad
was
I caught
nothing.
this shot before the rain got too heavy.
2 weeks later we
The
grabbed
detail
coffee
on the
after she
mural is
texted me a random
incredible.
photo
It
of a
looks
mural
even
she'd
better
shot
than
near
the
my
sketch.
office.
I
The
still can't
cafe
believe you wore
smelled
those
like
boots
fresh
hiking that
espresso
day.
and cinnamon.
Hey, they were stylish.
Rain streaked the windows while we sat at a tiny
You've
table,
got this quiet intensity,
knees
Margot.
almost touching under it.
I
Lana
just
stirred her
don't know
oat
if I
milk
can
latte
stay here
slowly,
anymore.
eyes flicking
I
up to
understand
mine.
how you feel.
You've got this quiet
It's a
intensity,
lot to think about.
Margot. Like you're carrying
Before
something
I
heavy
forget,
but won't put
I
it
finally
down.
got around to organizing
I
my
shrugged,
portfolio. I'd love to get your
tracing the
opinion on
rim
the
of my
latest
cup.
shots. You
The
should have
warmth
seen
of the
it.
ceramic
The way
grounded
the sun
me.
hit the water, it was pure
Just
magic.
focused.
I've never captured anything
I
like
guess.
it.
Inside my chest something fluttered, half fear, half recognition. I changed the subject to her photography, and she lit up describing a recent shoot at sunrise on the lakefront.
Incredible. Wow.
Her
And then you
hands
just
moved
turn
when
it
she
like
talked,
this, see how the
graceful
light
and
catches
sure.
it?
I caught myself watching the way her fingers flexed and had to look away.
It's
We
crazy how
started
long
doing
it's
this
been since
thing,
we just hung out
small,
like this.
safe
Way too
hangouts
long.
that somehow stretched
We have to
longer
do this
every
more
time.
often. It's
A
beautiful
walk
out
through
here.
Lincoln Park on a
Love this
crisp
time of
October
spring.
afternoon,
Yeah, I love this time of year.
leaves crunching under our boots. The air smelled
I'm
like
so
damp
glad we
earth and her
decided to
faint
come out
citrus
today. The
perfume.
colors are incredible. Me too.
She pointed out a heron
Look how
standing
still it
statue
is.
still in the lagoon, and I felt my pulse skip when her
can't
sleeve
believe it.
grazed mine. You ever feel like the city's watching you
You ever
figure
feel
your
like the
shit
city's
out?
watching
She
you
asked
figure your shit
softly.
out?
Yeah, I admit it. Voice
Yeah.
barely above the wind rustling
the
the
time.
trees. All the time. Another night. Her apartment was a cozy chaos of camera gear. Half-developed prints taped to the walls. And string lights that cast warm gold across the couch. We were shoulder to shoulder under a shared blanket. Some old indie film flickering. Halfway through she shifted. Her thigh pressing lightly against mine.
You look beautiful there.
Heat bloomed there. Slow and undeniable. I didn't pull away. Neither did she. The silence stretched. Comfortable and electric. Until the credits rolled and we both exhaled like we'd been holding our breath. I told myself it was friendship. Deep.
It's deep, real
Kind I
friendship.
hadn't let myself have in years. Then came the night everything tilted. I'd had a shit day at work. Client feedback that shredded my confidence.
Hey,
Lana
I got
showed up at my
pad thai
door
and
with
cheap
takeout
Cabernet.
Thai and a bottle of cheap red.
You are the best. Come on in.
We
He
ate
actually
on
tried
my
to argue
tiny
that
balcony.
deep dish isn't pizza. Oh,
City
come on, he
lights
did not.
twinkling like distant
I swear, I
stars.
swear. You
The
always
wine
say I
warmed my
overreact,
veins.
But look at what's happening. This isn't
Somewhere
about
between the second
apartment,
glass and the
Margot.
third.
We both know what this is really
The walls
about.
cracked. I don't trust anyone, I said suddenly,
I don't trust
staring at the string
anyone.
lights strung across the railing.
I just
My
don't
voice sounded
understand how
raw
we could
even
move
to
on so
me.
quickly. It feels
Not
like it
after
meant
my ex
nothing.
basically told
And
me
that's
I
the
was
hardest
too
part.
much. And then
after
proved it by
everything,
sleeping with my best
I
friend.
finally see the truth.
So I just
It's
keep
over
people at
now,
arm's length.
and I can finally breathe.
Safer that way. Lana set her glass down. The clink was soft against the metal table. She turned fully toward
Then
me.
let me be the exception.
Rain starting to mist down
You
again.
don't have to carry it alone tonight.
Cool against my heated skin. Then let me be the exception, she whispered. You don't have to carry it alone tonight. Her hand found mine on the table. Warm. The touch sent a current up my arm that made my breath hitch. We sat like that for what felt like forever. Thumbs brushing in slow circles. The city humming around us. I felt seen in a way that terrified me. And wanted. From there the tension built like a slow tide. We kept orbiting closer.
With a straight face.
Late night
Oh my
texts turned into
God.
voice notes where her laugh made me smile at my
You're
phone like an
ridiculous.
idiot.
This
One
wind is
Saturday we
crazy,
hiked
but
the
view
lakefront
is
trail,
worth
wind
it.
whipping off the water.
Totally,
Carrying the
I'm
sharp scent of
starving, though.
lake and
Did you
distant
smell
hot
that
dogs from a
dog
vendor.
stand?
She reached out to steady me when I slipped on wet leaves. Her palm flat against my lower back. The contact lingered a second too long. My skin burned under my jacket even after she let go. That evening back at my place.
This cold pizza is surprisingly
Power
good
flickered
right now.
during
I
a
know,
sudden
right?
storm.
Best dinner ever.
Candles everywhere. Shadows dancing on the walls. We sat cross-legged on the floor eating cold pizza straight from the box. Thunder rolled outside. Low and rumbling. Lana's knee brushed mine again. This time I didn't pretend it was accidental. I looked at her, really looked, and saw the same question in her eyes I'd been ignoring for weeks. You're shaking, she said quietly.
You're shaking.
Voice barely louder than the rain drumming the windows. It's not the cold, I answered. My heart was a wild thing in my chest. She didn't push. Just let the moment breathe. The candle flame flickered between us, painting her face in soft golden shadow. I wanted to lean in. God. But I pulled back at the last second, laughing it off like it was nothing. Wine makes me dramatic. She smiled. But it didn't quite reach her eyes. Yeah. The almost kept stacking up.
Don't let go yet.
A hug that lasted 4 heartbeats too long after she helped me move a heavy bookshelf. Fingers lingering when we passed a joint on her rooftop one clear night. Stars fighting through the light pollution. Each time the air between us thickened, charged with everything unsaid. I'd catch her watching me when she thought I wasn't looking, soft, wondering. And I'd feel that same pull, deep in my gut, warring with the voice that whispered I wasn't ready, that this wasn't my life. Then came the family call that cracked the
We just
dam.
left the gallery. It was incredible.
My mom
Margo,
rang
that's
while
wonderful
Lana
news. We miss you.
and I were grabbing late-night tacos
Mom,
after
slow
a
down, I can
gallery
barely
opening.
hear you.
So
I
tell me,
stepped
is he
outside the
nice? Does he have a good
taqueria.
job? You should really
The
settle
smell
down
of
soon.
grilled carne
Mom, I
asada
told you
still
I'm
clinging
fine.
to my
I'll call you back.
clothes. Mom's voice was bright,
Working
probing.
on it, Mom.
Your eye up there in the big city. You know your cousin's wedding is coming up.
What happened?
Wouldn't
You
it be
look
nice
worried.
to bring someone?
That was the lawyer.
I forced a laugh. Stomach twisting, working on it.
You okay? You okay?
Mom. The lie tasted like ash. When I hung up and walked back inside, Lana was waiting.
Yeah. Just family
2 steaming
stuff.
tacos on the table. Concern etched across her face. You okay? She asked. I nodded too quickly. Yeah.
Margo,
But it lodged in me, the
There's something I
reminder
need
that
to
my
show
world
you.
back home didn't have room for this. For her. Every time she said my name. 2 nights later we ended up on that same rooftop where everything would break open. A friend's birthday party had spilled upstairs. Music and laughter drifting up from the stairwell. Lana and I had slipped away for air. The rain started soft, then insistent, soaking our hair, plastering clothes to skin. City lights smeared below like wet paint. My chest felt too tight. I couldn't do the dance anymore. Couldn't keep pretending the pool was just friendship. So I said it. Voice raw against the wind. We can just be friends. The words hung there, heavy and final. Lana went still. Rain traced down her cheeks like tears. She wasn't crying. Then
Margo,
she closed the distance in
I've
one
been
slow
falling for you
step.
since that first fire escape.
Boots scraping wet
Friends
concrete.
was never gonna be enough.
Her hands came up, framing my face gently. Thumbs brushing rain from my skin. I felt the heat of her breath. Smelled citrus and rain and something uniquely her. Margot, she whispered. Voice low and certain. I've been falling for you since that first fire escape. Friends was never going to be enough. And then she kissed me.
Shit.
It wasn't rushed or desperate. It was slow. Like she'd been waiting months to get it exactly right. Her lips were soft and warm against the chill, tasting faintly of the whiskey we'd shared earlier. My hands found her waist on instinct, pulling her closer as the kiss deepened. Thunder cracked somewhere distant.
You don't
Or maybe that
understand
was
what's
my
at
heart.
stake if they find out who I am.
Every
I know
nerve lit up,
exactly what's at
electric.
stake,
Alive.
but running isn't the answer.
I
Sometimes it
kissed
feels
her
like we're
back
running
like
in
the world
circles,
might
you
end
know?
if I didn't.
I'm tired, Lana. I know you are, but
Pouring
we're
months of
almost there.
almosts and what
Look,
ifs
the rain
into
is
it.
finally stopping. It's
When
the
we finally broke
expectations.
apart.
I feel like I'm drowning under
Foreheads
them.
pressed together,
What if I fail,
breath mingling in the
Lana?
cold air.
What if I let everyone
I was
down?
shaking.
I'm
Holy
not
shit,
asking you to
I
burn your life
breathed.
down tonight,
A half
but
laugh,
I'm also not pretending this is casual.
half sob escaping. She smiled against my mouth. Eyes shining, yeah. For one perfect minute the choice felt easy. Her arms around me. Rain washing everything clean. The city pulsing below like it approved. But then my phone buzzed in my pocket, another text from Mom. Probably with wedding details, and reality slammed back in. The different worlds. The identity I'd built as the straight, reliable daughter who didn't rock boats. The fear that loving Lana meant losing pieces of the life I'd fought to keep stable. We talked on that rooftop until the rain eased. She listened while I spilled the rest, how much I wanted this. How much it scared me. How my family's expectations still lived in my bones like old wiring.
I'm not going anywhere.
Lana didn't flinch.
Beautiful this morning.
I'm not asking you to burn your life down tonight, she said quietly. Fingers laced with mine. But I'm also not pretending this is casual.
Yes, very much.
Not
Should be
anymore.
lovely.
That was the real choice staring at me. Stay safe in the version of myself everyone expected. Or step into the unknown with her.
Why
Identity
are you rushing
versus
this?
emotion.
We agreed to take it slow.
The guarded
Slow is
woman
all
who didn't
we
trust
ever
anyone
do.
versus the one who just had her breath
can't wait
stolen by a
forever,
kiss in the
Margaret.
rain. I didn't have a perfect answer right then. We walked downstairs hand in hand. Boots squelching. Leaving wet footprints on the stairs. Back in my apartment we peeled off soaked
You
clothes.
were right. Thanks, Lana. Come on
Shared a hot shower. That turned tender instead of heated, her hands gentle on my back. Mine tracing the freckles across her shoulders. We fell asleep tangled together. City sounds fading into the background. The next morning sunlight slanted across the bed. Warm and ordinary. Lana was already awake. Watching me with that same steady gaze. No pressure, she said softly. We can figure it out slow. Or not at all. Your call. I traced her jaw with one finger. Heart still racing but clearer now. I don't want not at all, I told her. I want you. It's just it's going to be messy. My family. All of it. I'm not out. I don't even know what out looks like for me yet. She nodded, no disappointment, just understanding. Then we'll be messy together. I'm not going anywhere. We didn't ride off into some flawless sunset. 2 weeks later I flew home for my cousin's wedding. And sat through endless questions about my love life. Smiling tightly while my chest ached for the woman waiting back in Chicago. Lana and I texted the whole time, short. Loaded messages that kept me grounded. When I got back we fought once. Hard. I pulled away for 3 days. Terrified of how fast my heart had handed itself over. She gave me space. Then showed up with coffee and no expectations. We're still figuring it out. Some nights the fear wins. And I sleep on the couch. Staring at the ceiling. Wondering if I'm strong enough for this version of myself. Other nights she pulls me close and the doubt quiets under her steady heartbeat. We're not official on social media or telling parents yet. It's not the cute, tidy love story people want to hear. It's two women navigating different worlds. Choosing each other anyway, one careful step at a time. But every time I catch her looking at me across a room, that same breath-stealing intensity in her eyes, I remember the rooftop. The rain. That mattered. I said we could just be friends. She answered by taking my breath away, and giving me a reason to keep breathing deeper than I ever had before.